tonight, a huge matchup in the women's division. CMLL's La Catalina takes on ST. And kicking things off, a matchup in our women's division.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by the infantry from Washington, D.C., the Afro-Punk, Trish Adora!
Trish Adora returns successfully from injury, picking up a huge win against Rachel Ellering 2 weeks ago. And with the Women's Pure Championship on the way, Caprice, you know that Trish Adora wants to put her hat in that ring.
I believe she's probably one of the more qualified for it, one of the pure wrestlers we have in the women's division.
Don't remember that military wrestling background that Trish Adora deploys. Could be a big skill in that tournament. Huge test tonight, though.
And her opponent from Santiago, Chile, La Catalina!
Well, we know 6 competitors in the tournament. Each of these women would be great additions. La Catalina, who's making her entrance now, has challenged for both the Women's World Television and Women's World titles, coming about as close as you can to winning without leaving with the gold. It's got to be equal parts inspiring, but also maybe that little voice in the back of her head, Caprice, pushing her toward maybe the Pure tournament.
Tell you what, man, when she came in the deep end of the pool, have proven herself strong every time she's been out there. I'm a fan of La Catalina, but Trish Adora's been around a long time and has proven herself time and time again, being able to repolish herself and step back in the ring.
Well, what a way to kick things off this week. Code of honor adhered to. Stefan Smith calls for the belt, and we are off. Of course, we mentioned La Catalina, a native of Chile who found her success in Mexico, representing CMLL. AEW is heading to Mexico for the first time. Live Wednesday, June 18th, Arena Mexico. One of the most famous arenas in the world. Grand Slam Mexico coming your way in just 3 weeks' time. Look at that. Adora.
Yeah. You know, Trish Adora was a combat specialist in the military.
And that's where these rear waist locks, high angle takedowns, hand-to-hand combat, the grappling comes into play. Beautiful side headlock takeover there by Catalina.
Avid chess player is Trish Adora. Catalina giving everything she's got. I see Trish Adora's not in a hurry, though, being able to keep her poise about her, trying to maintain a quick base. There you go. That base of Trish Adora is hard to break, man.
Those strong legs. Ducks the right. Oh, and Catalina, nice arm drag. And again, Adora, who's normally all about that base, couldn't sink down enough as Catalina.
Catalina about the leverage, man. That's what makes Catalina so smart. She's came in deep into the pool, but she's shown she has a lot of experience and knows how to do a lot of things with different opponents, no matter what size they are.
Ooh, well, this is a great testing ground. I hate to use the word proving ground. That's a match style, but really for both women, a measuring stick.
And misdirection is just a sample of the things that Catalina's capable of.
Wow. And we heard last week, Billy Starks, the 6th entrant to the Women's Pure Tournament. I understand immediately following this bout, we're going to hear from one of the 6.
What in the world?
And electric chair position. Adora trying to fight out of it, does. Ooh.
Kind of curious what Catalina had in mind with that electric chair position, but we're not going to find out the way Trish pulling things in the center of the ring. Trish must have a submission in mind. Oh, my goodness. That right there turning about the neck. Not going to forget that during the whole match. It's like instant whiplash, Riccaboni.
Oh, I can't even imagine. And maybe working toward the neck. Adora likes to go to that STF, as we saw Deonna Purrazzo do as well.
The STF and Lariat Tubman, everything goes towards the neck with Trish Adora. She's a headhunter.
Absolutely, and look at this. And there he's, ooh, ring-style move here.
Yes, sir. Proving that great wrestling ability that she has. Training, like I said, the military, also training with New Japan. Oh, my goodness. Right there, tearing at the delts, the shoulder blades. Could have dislocated the shoulder there. Catalina staying with that arm. A lot of times you can work on an arm or body part that opens your head up because you're holding your arms together and it opens that head up. Trish Adora knows what she's doing here.
Well, and putting the pressure on the shoulder of Catalina with the wrist, with the fingers. stepping over and through. Paige is out of, you mentioned New Japan, the New Japan Academy. Paige is out of Rocky Romero's playbook. We saw him this past Sunday in the buy-in. Oh, goodness. No strangers to shortcuts are Rocky Romero. And now Trish Adora, who's finding the path of least resistance, which is helping her success right now.
She hasn't done anything wrong here, and staying with that arm has made it hard for Catalina to be able to grab hold to anything. It's another submission here.
Yes, indeed. A little bit risky, but worth the reward. Great finding those legs to trap them so she can really wrench that shoulder. That rotator cuff in particular, as Catalina trying to fight out, striking the lower back, she does. But the strength of Adora.
My goodness.
Oh!
Like a shoulder breaker, neck breaker combination.
Two.
Already hyperextending at the knees and shoulder area, pulling at the delts. People say people don't come in with a game plan. This is a game plan. Trish Adora has came in, and that drop also on the back of the neck of Catalina. Trish Adora is warming up the head of Catalina, ready to take it off.
Love this game plan right now from Adora. Into the corner, it's Catalina!
Knee out of nowhere. Catalina needed that knee.
If for nothing else, Caprice needed it to slow down the match, to slow down the momentum. You're absolutely right, but it now has reset the match, and both competitors are back at square one.
And knowing the condition of Catalina, this is anybody's match now. Trish Adora maybe the first one to her feet.
Oh, and both women about the same time. It's Catalina blocking two, returning fire. 4, 5, and look at the forearms, the elbows into the chest of Adora.
Adora creating space.
Whoa, drop toe hold.
Sometimes that space is what the other opponent needed. That's what Catalina needed to get the advantage.
Makes the most of it. Drop kick now. Adora is rattled. Catalina butterflying the arms. And got it, the face buster.
Trish Adora may be out, Riccaboni. That letting it flush.
Like hook. Two.
Wow.
No. Two only.
You see a little attitude there from Catalina. A little assertion there, and I like it.
Well, both women are on the cusp of something great here in Ring of Honor as Adora goes downstairs for the German. Two, no!
Look at the bridge on that German to the tiptoes, the conditioning that Trish Adora has to be in. She's that lariat. Nice punch there.
Oh! Straight right. Good decision. I think Catalina thought the lariat was coming also. Wow! Swinging backbreaker. Plants Catalina, leg hooked. 2 and no. 2 and 7/8 again. Catalina barely kicking out.
Trish wondering what she has to do to put Catalina away, but Trish is wrestling the perfect match. If you ask me, she just has to stay with it.
And the crowd coming alive for this great bout here as Adora planting Catalina up top.
You think Adora let me borrow $1, Riccaboni?
Well,
never mind.
Maybe if she wins, if she can hit this superplex she's looking for here.
She's got it right on the thigh.
Maybe going back for that submission. It's Catalina driving in the forearm. We're in the danger zone. Catalina!
Trish holding on for dear life here. She knows what's in play. Catalina kicks the leg out from under, knocking the balance off of Trish. Here's that electric chair again,
Here we go, Catalina! Plants Adora, electric chair drop.
She tried that earlier, was unsuccessful. Successful this time, and now going to the top. She may be trying to put it away. But that splash.
All the way up top, Caprice. It's loud. Catalina with a big splash, leg hooked.
Yeah.
2, and that's it.
Here's your winner, La Catalina.
Bounce back victory for title contender La Catalina. And with the Women's Pure Championship Tournament on the horizon, you gotta think, was that enough to impress?
She's making a call for a title there. I'm impressed. I mean, any winner with Trish Adora is big, and Trish Adora wrestled a perfect game. If you ask me, you gotta show respect here.
Yeah.
Trish knows when she's been beat. That's the handshake. That's respect right there. Yeah.
Code of honor adhered to. For up to me, both of these competitors would be in the tournament tomorrow. Great showing from each, but La Catalina victorious. Fans, let's head to one of the 6 competitors already announced for the Women's Pure Championship Tournament.